Good morning, everybody. Well, morning from Nashville, Tennessee. I know it's evening for some of you. Thank you for being here. I've got my coffee ready to go. I hope you guys are all doing good on this fabulous Sunday. It's actually a little warmer here than it's been lately. Been getting a lot of rain and stuff, though. I'll probably just give it a minute just to see if anybody else stumbles in here, but today's an exciting day, man. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the Violent Gentleman Hockey Club brand. I mean, good clothes and hockey, two of my favorite things. And when I wanted to start doing merchandise on here, I told you guys I wanted to make sure it was something cool that I would wear, and I was really excited when I found out the guys from Violent Gentleman were interested in doing a collaboration. Well, that collaboration is finally done. Some of the first stuff that we've come out with is currently on their website. Let me wake up just a hair more, and I'll show you some of this stuff, and we'll go through some cool stuff. Oh, God, I love coffee Sunday morning. Desmond, you are welcome. Desmond just bought an Ernie Ball Music Man Sterling Stingray bass and said he purchased that off my recommendation after checking it out, and he said it is awesome. Those basses are awesome, man. I'm glad you got that. I'm glad that's super cool. Data Wolf said he paused Slipknot to join the stream. He never pauses Slipknot. Alright, well, let's just get to the freaking point then. So, for anybody that's not familiar, you guys see me wearing Violent Gentleman all the time. I mean, hat, shirt, everything. They are they are my favorite clothing line out. It is a hockey-based clothing line based out of Southern California. But they do a lot of great stuff. They do collaborations with other bands. They do collaborations for like charity stuff. Recently, when Chain Reaction, a very legendary club venue in Anaheim, when they were having a hard time due to COVID, Violent Gentleman came out with a shirt to help raise money for them and do stuff. And I love their brand, and I love them, and I like what they stand for, and they're really cool guys. So when everybody started asking for merch, being a former merch guy on tour, I get really picky about clothes and what stuff gets printed on. So when I had them make a design for me, I knew that I eventually wanted them to print the shirts if they were going to do it. And luckily they wanted to do it, and we did it, and it's done, and it is right now officially live on their website. This is the main shirt that we came out with. It is like most of the Violent Gentleman shirts that I wear. It's got the TankTheTech Roadie Reactions logo on it. It's like a work shirt. The logo's here on the front, and then it's also super big on the back like that. Really good, and of course we had to do it in black because black is the official color of Roadies everywhere. Chase Carnison, I love you, buddy. Thank you. Chase just got his Roadie Reaction shirt. Thank you for the super chat, though, too. We also have, if you want to go the white route, we do have it in white. Same thing, just black logo on a white t-shirt. Big logo on the back like that. And then for any of you in the cold weather, we have a solid hoodie that I was wearing in one of my latest videos. These things are comfortable, man. It's a blank back, just got the Roadie Reactions logo on the front like that. This stuff is super comfortable. And you guys know me, I don't like to sell to you guys, but I'm so proud of the fact that Violent Gentleman did this stuff because I love their gear. I love how it looks. So for anybody that's interested, I dropped a link in the description that goes straight to the page that has all three of the items. And for the next 24 hours, I just put on screen If you use that discount code at checkout, Roadie20, you get 20% off for the next 24 hours. And that code only works for the Roadie Reactions items. But, you know, talking to the guys and seeing about what they want to do in the future, you know, if this little partnership goes well, we may do some stuff in the future where we do some discount codes on the fly where you can use stuff on their whole website and stuff like that. But man, I'm super stoked about this. I really am. Like, I'm so proud to have my name on something that they made because I love their brand so much, and it's just super cool, man. I'm really excited, and they fit great. Like, you know, their sizes are pretty true to size. The t-shirts are 100% cotton. They don't shrink too bad. I wear a large t-shirt in everything they have, and it fits perfectly. It's like the best fitting t-shirt I've ever had. The hoodies, I always go a size up. I get extra large in those. We do not have the girls fitted, like baby doll tees yet. We only have the unisex t-shirts. Everything from extra small to, I think, 3 extra large. So, depending on how these do, we may come out with some more stuff. Sorry, just trying to catch up with the chat here. Yeah, once again, I saw that question a couple times. We do not have, like, the women's, girls, baby doll fitted tees yet. It is just the unisex. But, depending on how this goes, we may do more stuff. Joe, we did talk about doing a hat as well. I just didn't want to, like, jump the gun here and insist on doing a bunch of different stuff. I just kind of wanted to see if anybody was interested in it first before we did more. So if this turns out to be stuff people are actually interested in, then we'll do it. Richard, Violent Gentleman's website can be reached at VGHC, which is violentgentlemanhockeyclub.com, or just violentgentleman.com. But if you go to in the description of this live stream, I put a direct link to, let me just make sure it works because I thought I did. I put a direct link to the page where these Roadie Reactions items are. Let me just double check and make sure, because sometimes I screw up. Okay, it is in the video description. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. The hoodie only comes in black with the white print at the moment. Shipping is available worldwide. I have sent stuff to Chase, and I know it's taken like a couple weeks, but that was over Christmas, so it could have just gotten, you know, delayed a little bit. But I do know other people around the world have gotten stuff as well. Yeah, I got a Violent Gentleman coffee mug right here. They actually teamed up with a coffee company in Southern California, and they actually have their own line of coffee beans too. Oh, Joanna, that's awesome. Yeah, they're really good. They're not one of those companies that overprices a lot of their stuff. I feel like it's the same kind of prices like if you were to go to a t-shirt or get a t-shirt like at a concert. I believe the t-shirts in US dollars are like 26 and the hoodie is 56 or 58, somewhere around there. And it's a little more than if I would have made like generic stuff on like Teespring and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm a sucker for good quality. This stuff is killer quality. I'm happy with everything. Thank you guys so much, man. That's super cool. Pennywise, thank you so much, man. That is awesome. What's up, Erling? Seriously, guys, thank you. You know, and this helps me. This helps them. I'm super excited about this. I know it's taken a while. Jeff said, Tank, have you resisted the urge to check out all the new Bandmade stuff until you can do a reaction video? I have, actually. The only thing I've heard so far is, what was the song I did last week? Manners. I did Manners. I'm gonna do Warning soon. I promise. I did. So for tomorrow's reaction, for those of you that are here now, if you're into this, I heard Epica has a new album coming out. So I started checking out some of the new Epica singles that have released. So tomorrow we are going to be checking one of those out. And I loved it. Quick question, how do you feel about J-Rock? I mean, I guess I'm indifferent because I'm just not really familiar, but a lot of the J-Rock I've heard I like. Are the 3XL extra long? I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% sure. They do have a sizing chart on the pages with the stuff. I would double check that if you're not familiar. Can't find the link in the description. Let me just make sure it's there. It's one of the second things on there. So right under where it says join me for this special. You know what? For now, let me just put it at the very top of the description. I think that would make more sense for while people are on here. So the link is at the very top of the description to this video, like under the video on YouTube. And then the discount code is also there. Nice, thank you, Hupfy. And Melissa. Oh, sounds good, Umbra, thank you. Mark, we've talked about that a little, and it's like, you know, I haven't really talked about Marco leaving Nightwish because he said in his announcement, like, it's a personal choice. He prefers for the matter to just be left personal, so I don't want to, like, speculate or anything like that, but, like, I get some of the points he was trying to make, man. I mean, the music industry is a tough place. He's probably burned out. In terms of finding a new bass player, it can be done. It'll be difficult, but there are a lot of bass players that can also sing. I told Chase yesterday on Discord when we were talking, I don't find it too unreasonable to think that you may see Nightwish with a new bass player and a second male lead vocalist. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I wouldn't be surprised if they replaced Marco with two different people. But I don't know. Like, you know, it's kind of crazy because I've only been in a Nightwish for 6 months, but I do realize like how big that it is, him leaving. You know, he's a big part of that band. His personality is going to be very hard to replace. He's a great bass player. He's a great vocalist, but you know, people have left that band before. They've kept going. Karen, thank you very much. Oh, I can't wait to see Brian in that. Probably take his shirt off in like 2 minutes anyways, though. Tommy Vexed of Bad Wolves. What about Tommy? I kind of know him a little bit, like through friends of friends. He does some, he does the podcast with my buddy Shane that I check out here and there. I don't know Tommy that well, so I can't really, you know, speculate on him leaving Bad Wolves or anything that happened. Melissa Bonnie. Oh, I didn't even know she was dating Amaranth's drummer. That'll be a funny one, too. Yeah, you never know, too. Marco literally may take some time off and then decide, hey, I can come back. Empu might pick up singing. Can Empu sing? Yeah, Marco's been at it for 40 years, man. If he needs a break, he needs a break. And I know Troy does vocals, too. Troy could do that. Yeah, new blood in the band could invigorate. Like, I mean, let's look at the Floor situation. I haven't been with Nightwish for their entire ride, but I would argue from what I know that Nightwish is more popular now with like Floor singing and Troy in the band than they ever were. It could be wrong, but I feel like from what I've seen, they are. Mark has a good point. Nightwish knows how to reinvent themselves. Zach, I am doing great, man. I've got my coffee. I'm stoked on life. I'm excellent, man. Elvis, welcome. Empu can't speak English. I doubt that. Or maybe, I don't know. Zulu, everybody keeps saying that, but like, I didn't, maybe I misread it or I read it quick, but I didn't see where he specifically said, I just want the year off. You know, he did say there were some commitments for 2021 that he wanted to finish off. You know, I do think that this could be a situation where he does take like some time off and then comes back. And only they know what's going on. I mean, they might very well know that's what's going on. They're just trying to find a bass player for the next year. I don't know. No, I don't. Nobody knows what's going on. Let's be real here. Only the band and their management team and people close to them know what's going on. What's up, Nella? Yeah, I've seen a video of Tomas doing vocals. Marika, thank you. That's awesome. Yep, I've got tickets to the virtual show. I actually bought 8 tickets and just gave them to other people that I wanted to make sure they saw it too. I got one for my dad too. Claire and I have our due date for our first child 2 days before that live stream. So there's a chance I may have to watch the replay of it, which is totally fine. Please react to Dead Squad from Indonesia. Ooh, an Indonesian band. Haven't done that yet. Ooh, I have one more thing I'm excited about. You guys can tell me what you think about this. So I was thinking about doing a new series on the channel. Still reactions, but it's going to be a little different. I was thinking about doing them on Fridays, and it would be kind of like a Flashback Friday thing. But I wanted to start like a Roadie replay series, where instead of checking out brand new music that I'm not familiar with, I want to kind of take a journey back throughout my life and revisit the music that I remember that was important to me in my life, and rewatch the videos and the songs and kind of talk about them, how I felt about them when I heard them, where I was in my life when I heard them, and talk about it now and break down stuff like that. Would you guys be interested in that? And I'm talking like, I'm going to be pulling stuff that I remember hearing when I was like 5 years old. Through stuff that I like moments like the first metal band I ever remember discovering and talking about that, and then stuff that I listened to in middle school. And it's going to get out there. It's not just going to be metal. Like the earliest music I ever remember hearing in my life was like Deep Purple. REM was another one I remember early on. And when I was in middle school, I listened to a lot of stuff people would probably not be stoked on. Like, we're talking Shaggy, the Venga Boys, who did the Macarena, Los Del Mar. Like, we're gonna take a trip through my musical life. I feel like that would be really fun. So Richard, tomorrow is going to be an Epica reaction. It is not Rivers because Chase just did that. Sorry. I missed a couple. So tomorrow I'm doing Abyss of Time, which is the very first single from their new album Omega, because I had not heard it yet. And it was awesome. Yeah, it would also be a way. I know a lot of you have been asking me to do like Rammstein and stuff like that, and it's like, I don't do those because I'm really familiar with Rammstein, but in this case, I could go back and show you guys the very first Rammstein song that I heard and talk about it, and talk about how I found it and how I discovered the band, And then I could also break down the gear in the videos and stuff like that. It would be a fun way to revisit music and also tell you. Lamb Chops, thank you very much. Lamb Chops just picked up a 3X. That's awesome. Killer. Yeah, I think this could be fun. I mean, we get the possibilities here are endless. You guys might get some Rammstein. You might get some Slipknot. You might get some Fear Factory. But you also might get some Backstreet Boys. And you also might get some 98 Degrees. And Shaggy and stuff like that. So, I think, no, I did not listen to Rivers because I want to check that out on a reaction as well. My opinion on the Iced Earth topic, I'm going to kind of stay away from that. But I will be honest and say, like, seeing what happened with one of their band members being involved in what happened in the US, I'm a little timid to want to have that on my channel right now. But that's just me personally. I may eventually do it. But I don't want to talk about that. We don't talk about politics and stuff like that in here. Oh, you'll be getting some In Flames. I mean, you guys know In Flames. For those of you that have never seen it, In Flames is the only band tattoo I have. I have the Jester head on the back of my arm, like in my sleeve right there. In Flames is one of my favorite metal bands ever. They are responsible for me getting into European metal. Robin, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. I don't know if I've ever heard any Indonesian metal bands. That might be the first band that's been brought up. Dude, Korn, Limp Bizkit, Deftones. Yeah, some of these videos might get blocked. I'm going to check beforehand, but I'm going to try. Dude, there are some other new metal bands from that era that I bet nobody here is probably even that familiar with or remembers that I loved. And I also had my, like, pop punk phase and stuff like that. We're going to get some variety here. Cars. What a cover that was by Fear Factory. If nobody's ever heard the cover of Cars by Fear Factory, that's a good one. Filter. Jeez. I actually saw Filter open for Trapped once at the House of Blues in Chicago when I was like in my late teens, and Filter absolutely wiped the floor with Trapped. Dead Squad is the only name that now I think I'm familiar with. But I'll have to check that out. Erling, I'll have to check that out. Is that the same band that has Jake that used to be in Amaranth too? Oh, let's think about new metal bands here. So, new metal era. Spineshank was another one I really liked. Static X is another one, but a lot of people are familiar with them. Dude, I'm going to have to really sit here. I wouldn't consider them new metal, but Chimera is another one of my favorites that was in that era. Let's see. I mean, Seven Dust is another one of my favorite bands from that era. Ooh, the early Darkness stuff, yeah. So I'm super into Perfect Circle. Actually, this might sound blasphemous. Nobody hate me here. I enjoy Perfect Circle way more than Tool. I kind of got into Pussifer, not a ton. Michelle, thank you very much. Ooh, Cataclysm I've heard before, yeah. Power Man 5000, dude. Holy shit. Basically, take anything that was on, like, the Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtracks. And, like, that's my early teenage years. Mudvayne. Mudvayne is one of the reasons I started playing bass. Ryan Martini is one of my favorite bass players ever. Can't say I'm familiar with Kasabian. Barry Manilow and ABBA. Lamb Chops Ghost is a band I need to get to. Because I've said a couple times, I had a friend that kind of burned out Ghost for me before I'd even listened to their music. Like, they just talked about them so much, like they were the best band ever, that it just got in my brain, and I was like, I don't ever want to hear this band. But I feel like Nice. Thanks, Erling. I need to check that out for sure. Lone Wolf, what's up, dude? Hey, we need to talk, man. I apologize we haven't talked more. I've been so busy at home with getting ready for the baby and stuff like that. I would love to jump on your podcast at some point. You had already asked me about that. Oh, so Zach just dropped Il Nino. Let's go. I loved Il Nino. I absolutely loved him. I actually did a show with them. My band used to be like the local opener in Chicago for a lot of tours that came through Chicago, and we opened for Seven Dust and Il Nino on a tour once, and it was awesome. I've heard the name Skyclad. I have not listened to them yet. Marco Blind Channel is a name I keep seeing a lot. I need to check that out. Ghost is Blue Oyster Cult meets Merciful Fate meets ABBA. Okay, I'm intrigued. Il Nino. Oh, super familiar with Skindred. That's another band I love. I first discovered them listening to, I heard Nobody, I think on MTV2 or something. And then the album that they had after that, it was Rat Race, or it had the song Rat Race on it. That album from start to finish is incredible. I loved it. My band was called Inept. When we first started out, we were kind of like a screamo, like Story of the Year sounding, and then as we evolved, we were more like pop punk. Like, I love Typo Negative, dude. Freaking, Peter Steele was a beauty. Skyclad are basically the inventors of folk metal. Interesting. More Evergrey soon? Absolutely. I'm pretty sure they're releasing a new video soon, and I want to check that out, because holy shit, can I not wait for that album. I can't believe it's taken me this long to discover them. They are so good. Heaven Shall Burn I discovered in early 2000s as well, like in high school. They came on a Century Media sampler CD. I think that CD had Heaven Shall Burn and Diecast, I think, was on it. Lamb Chops, I'm not sure. I really don't know. I think we're on iTunes. Let me look. I think we're on Spotify and iTunes, some of our stuff. I don't know if our old stuff is, but I think our like full-length album that we did is. It's not what you guys would expect, I'll tell you right now. I was not in a metal band. Like, we toured with like Mayday Parade and All Time Low and A Day to Remember, but we could also play with rock bands like Trapped and Red and stuff like that. I'm looking on iTunes right now because I'm legitimately curious. Yeah, our full-length album is on iTunes, and so is one of our old EPs. It looks like there are a couple other bands called Inept, or that have the name Inept in their name. But my band was the one that had an album called So Much Between Us, and then an EP called Say Goodbye to This. That was my band. Yeah, dude, Evergrey, when I heard Eternal Nocturnal, I was like, just absolutely blown away. I cannot believe I haven't. Did I get Chase to do a reaction to my band? That would be funny, actually. That would be pretty funny. Lacuna Coil has a tribute song to Peter Steele. Interesting, I didn't know that. Should do an Evergrey single with Hannes. I could do that, because I found out recently that Hannes was drumming for Evergrey before Sabaton. Oh yeah, Nine Inch Nails is one of my top 5 favorite bands ever. Like, anything Trent Reznor does, to me, that guy cannot do no. I saw Nine Inch Nails in 2006 on the With Teeth tour. Is one of the best shows I've ever seen. Bauhaus was opening. It was wild. In the same vein of Evergrey, check out Catatonia. Okay. Do I like any Dimmu Borgir? Yes, I do. They are actually... So there are like 4 bands, actually we'll say 3 big bands that introduced me to European metal when I was a teenager, when I was in high school. In Flames, Children of Bodom, Dimmu Borgir. And then I'll throw Soilwork in there for some, for good cause. But those were the big bands that introduced me to like European metal, that made me realize, holy shit, there's a lot of badass metal outside of the US. Nice, that's awesome, Robin. Pennywise, no. No, their publisher hates me. Which is a bummer, man, because it's like, okay, they were great. That German band, Tenside, like, they were like, hey, if you can check out our band, we'll make sure that the copyright claim on your video gets dropped. Well, their publisher just refused to do it. So yeah, I have a copyright claim on that video, which I'm not upset about. It's not their fault, but yeah, their publisher refused to release it. Yeah, we used to, Snoopy, that's what we used to call him in high school, Demon Burger. Oh, I loved me some old Danzig era Misfits, man. Another band that I liked in the early 2000s was the Agony Scene, and they actually did a really good cover of Devil Lock by the Misfits that I loved. Yeah, absolutely. I honestly, I think I can say the only other South African band that I'm familiar with is Seether. Yeah, I could say King Diamond is probably more considered Euro metal. Oh, Niels, I have so many bands. Like, dude, I'm probably gonna remember stuff that, I mean, dude, we're talking like hip hop too. I loved old school hip hop. Like, both East and West Coast. Like, I'm a big fan of Eazy-E's solo stuff that he did outside of NWA. I listened to a lot of Public Enemy back in the day and stuff like that. Like, dude, we're going to get so many genres and so much different stuff. Metallica, Megadeth, and Slayer would be interesting, because the first Metallica I ever remember hearing as a kid was my dad brought home the Black Album when it first came out, and I loved it. Megadeth, my first introduction to Megadeth, I can't remember what album it was. I think it was Cryptic Writings. Is that the name of the album? Whatever album had the opening song was Trust. That was the first Megadeth album I ever heard, and I was like, holy shit. That was great. Dude, there's gonna be like, Beavis and Butthead opened me up to a lot of music when I was younger. Like, dude, a lot of Gwar, a lot of stuff like that. I've toured with Seether quite a few times. I never worked for them. I was with other bands that toured with them. They're great people. They're really cool. 2 Live Crew, yes! Cypress Hill, that's another one of my favorites. Actually, Claire and I have been playing music on a speaker and putting it by her stomach for our daughter to hear. And Claire put on Cypress Hill the other day and she started kicking around like crazy. Oh, duh. Well, I'm familiar with Die Antwoord. I just haven't listened to him in a while. I forgot about them. Yes, they are a South African group. Exactly. It's going to trigger so many memories of music, dude. And it might trigger some interesting thoughts. Like, there are albums that I remember listening to when I was going through, like, either breakups or a rough time in my life or something like that, where it might be interesting to listen to. It might put me back in a mental state from where I was when I remember hearing songs. Oh, dude. Desmond, I love, like, Sublime, Rancid, NoFX, stuff like that. You know, a little bit different vibe, but like Less Than Jake, Dropkick Murphys, stuff like that. Like, absolutely love that stuff. I mean, Pantera should go without saying, for sure. Like, Pantera was a big part of the metalheads in my small town I grew up in. We were all about Pantera, man. I remember going to school, excuse me, the day after Dimebag was killed on stage, and like all my metalhead friends, it was a sad day, man. I vividly remember being in high school the next day after that happened, and everybody being... I listened to a lot of Live growing up. My dad really liked them. Oh, Coal Chamber, dude. Dude, I listened to a lot of Coal Chamber. We haven't figured it out yet, Mariposa. She kicks around to a lot of metal. Like, if we're in the car and I'm playing my Roadie Reactions playlist on iTunes, like, she kicks around a lot. Oh, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, it was interesting because everybody thinks that I would be in, like, a brutal metal band, and I wasn't. Parasite Inc. I've been getting a lot of people tell me about Parasite Inc. German band. I gotta check that out. Dude, Dimebag, oh yeah, Nickelback too. I actually, Claire just came in and reminded me about Nickelback. I love Nickelback. I don't care what anybody else says. I will proudly proclaim that. Oh, Bad Brains. That's another good one. Iconic punk band. Godsmack I never really loved and got into. But there was a time when I was in middle school when like Godsmack's first couple albums came out where we were rocking the hell out of that for sure. I mean like their early stuff. I think the first Godsmack single I ever heard was it called "Stay Away" or "Get Away." I think it was called "Stay Away." I'm gonna look. I can get down with that Godsmack album for sure. Oh, Mark, I actually saw Head PE open for Mudvayne. Dude, I forgot about Head PE, man. Dude, we used to rock Bartender all the time. Bad Religion, I also loved. Thank you on the congrats for becoming a dad. I'm excited, man. Yeah, I actually toured with Nickelback as their merch guy when Chad and Avril were like starting to be a thing. Yeah, Mrs. Mayo, that's like kind of what happened to me with a few bands. It's like when you have a friend that convinces you so much that a band is so good, you almost kind of get this like hatred towards them because you're like, I'm tired of hearing about it. I don't care. Whatever by Godsmack was another big one that I remember hearing. I'm pulling up that album right now. Whatever, Keep Away. Yeah, dude, those songs I remember listening to a lot. What else? Soil, another metal band from Chicago I absolutely loved. Steel Panther, yeah, Mariposa. Steel Panther I love. I actually have a friend that works for them. I have not heard of or reacted to Persephone. When do I go back on tour? At this point, I have no idea. They are talking about being back on the road in April. I personally don't think that's going to happen. I just saw somebody say Audio Slave. Absolutely. Yes, I am also familiar with Mushroomhead. Oh, Social Distortion, dude. God, I could do like a whole week on their music. If I could go to any music festival once Corona is over, which one would be? Dude, Bakken. For sure. I like what I've heard from Body Count. Don't love it. Deftones is definitely in my top 5 favorite bands ever. Adrenaline, Around the Fur, and White Pony for me, that's like middle school and early high school. Just from all those albums from start to finish. I like some grunge stuff. Alice in Chains I really like. I like old Alice in Chains a lot. Oh, dude, Stained is another one. The first couple Stained albums for me. Dude, Full Circle from start to finish. God, I sat in my room and listened to that album so much. I don't think people hate Stained. I think people have kind of disliked Aaron Lewis kind of going off the deep end with all of his political stuff. I've done a show with Jet, actually. Jet, see, I did a show once that was... it was Papa Roach, Jet, Seether, and Red when I was working for Red. Jet was on that. They were really cool. Yeah, Wacken is the festival. If I could go to any festival once Corona's done, it's Wacken. Ooh, Hellfest would be a good one too. Offspring, another band of my dude. I remember being in middle school and just rocking Americana. Like, I think Americana was what really got me into Offspring, and then I discovered their stuff before that after. But dude, when I was in middle school, I rocked that album so much. I would love to do a Vakken meetup with you guys. Would absolutely love to. Want You Bad by Offspring is a good one. There were a couple songs on Americana that I absolutely loved. Staring at the Sun on Americana was a good one. Can't Get My Head Around You was a good one. Shout out Eskimo Cowboy for basically writing part 2 of that song. Oh yeah, my dad played a lot of Led Zeppelin when I was younger. Green Day, yeah, old school Green Day for me. Grew up on like Dookie and stuff like that. Loved that stuff. Yep, Blink-182 will be in there. My introduction to Blink-182 was Damn It. Oh, music is probably the only positive mention you'll hear about middle school. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't miserable in middle school and high school, but like, I didn't fit in. Like, middle school and high school was so weird for me because I played 3 sports, but I hung out with the skateboarding kids. I was a metalhead. I was in a band. I was in band in school. I played Magic the Gathering. I collected Pokemon cards and watched anime. Dude, I had nowhere to specifically fit in. And even though I was like a 3-sport athlete, I got picked on by the upperclassmen jocks because they also called me nerd because I was into Magic and stuff like that. And then people thought I was a skid because I was into metal and I was in a band and stuff. It was really weird. It was most people try and find out where they fit in high school, middle school, and I just never could. I just did kind of, my best friends were the metalhead crowd for sure. Oh, Rage Against the Machine. I mean, that's another reason I started playing bass, man. Tim Comerford. Yeah, I played a lot of Magic the Gathering. Dave, when did I sleep? I actually had a better sleep schedule when I was in middle school and high school than I have now. Be in bed at 10 every night and wake up at 6:30 in the morning and get ready to go to school. Yeah, pretty much. It was I was trying to figure out which clique I was gonna fit in. No, I was not too cool for school. I had my head in toilets quite a few times, if I'm being honest. Thanks, Logan. Oh yeah, we brought up Nickelback already. Dude, same. So in middle school, Data Wolf, I remember the big stuff at the time was Eminem was just coming out, 50 Cent, Nelly, stuff like that, and that was the really popular stuff. And then out of nowhere, Slipknot and Mudvayne hit, and it was just holy shit. I think the first Slipknot song I ever heard was actually Liberate. Oh, Rainbow, yes. Hell yeah, Magic the Gathering Arena. Well, I've checked out Love Bites once. I do, to be fair to them, I need to check it out again. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, though. Oh, dude, Refused. Don't even get me started on Refused. I love Refused. The Shape of Punk to Come was so ahead of its time as an album. When I did merchandise for Faith No More, Refused was our opener. Super great guys. Dude, every night when New Noise came on, I don't care what I was doing, I would leave and go to the stage and watch them play. They were so good. Yeah, same here. I was student council. I was in a club called Future Educators of America because I wanted to go to college to become a teacher, which I did. I went to university to become a science teacher, but I dropped out. And I became a roadie. Green Fog, I have a few bands like that now. There are, I will say, there are bands that I just can't support anymore because of things that they've done or things that they believe. I love Dark Tranquility. That was another band in high school. Null Positive I've heard of, but I've never checked out. Yeah, my dad loved Rainbow, man. I mean, we listened to a lot of that growing up. Oh yeah, Stuck Mojo I like too. What music genre is my dad's favorite? I mean, he's like classic rock and blues and stuff all the way. I mean, when I was growing up, I remember like when I was young, it was like Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Frank Zappa, Yes, Live, Eric Clapton, Muddy Waters, Stevie Ray Vaughan. I mean, that's the stuff I grew up on. Yeah, I went to university to get a degree in secondary education, which is high school level teaching in the US, and science. I wanted to be a biology teacher. Pennywise, thank you for the super chat. Motorhead Forever, yes, dude. Motorhead was another one. You know, I think my first experience with Motorhead was Ace of Spades when I was younger. Absolutely loved it. Spineshank is very underrated. Their first couple albums were so good. I don't think I heard Korn until Follow the Leader came out. I think Got the Life might have actually been the first Korn song I ever heard. My dad got into Hawkwind. Yeah, he did, but he got into them again more recently because I think he recently found out that Lemmy was in Hawkwind. Oh, I've seen Beth Hart in concert too. My dad and my stepmom and Claire and I saw Beth Hart in Nashville. Great. So, Dave, growing up, no, my household was a classic rock and rock household from my dad. And then my mom, you know, my dad and my mom split up when I was young. So, like, when I would visit my mom, she would be listening to country a lot, like 90s country, stuff like that. But she likes rock and roll as well. My mom and I have gone to a Foo Fighters concert together. So a lot of my Motown love that I have now, Dave, is actually from Claire. Claire really likes Motown, R&B. Yeah, Mark, Bowie for sure. Yeah, Kebabs. It's, dude, the hockey season's going to be rough, man. There's a lot of players going out. I saw that the Vegas, San Jose games had to get delayed because of COVID protocols. Oh, dude. System of a Down. How could we forget bringing up System of a Down? I loved Toxicity, but their self-titled album before that is one of my favorites. It's so good. Yeah, Beth Hart is amazing. Morbid Angel, yes. Laurie, I am so stoked about Kevin Lankinen. I think he is the future goaltender for the Hawks, honestly. Oh yeah, we listened to a lot of Thin Lizzy growing up as well. Oh, I would love to have seen B.B. King. When we saw Eric Clapton live, he brought out Buddy Guy on stage in Chicago. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I think Lankinen will be like our number one for sure starter soon. I had a lot of friends in high school that were into Cradle of Filth. I never got into them. That's not to say I disliked them. I just really never sat down and listened to them. And Rammstein, yeah, I discovered Rammstein in probably like 1997 or 8. Du Hast got massive in the States, dude. That when Du Hast came out, that was like number one on every rock radio station in the United States for like a year. Goo Goo Dolls and Sugar Ray. Wow. Yep, listened to a lot of Queen and Pink Floyd growing up. What is my favorite guitar for metal? That's a tough question, man, because guitars are so different and have different pickups and stuff like that in them that you can get so many different sounds and stuff. But in terms of a lot of metal I see lately, dude, a lot of people ripping Ibanez RGs or RGAs or RGDs. I'm a big fan of the ESP-Ms and ESP Horizons as well. Any good tips on bands that are like Sabaton? Man, Sabaton's like a one-of-a-kind band that I've heard so far, but a lot of other people are telling me, like, Brothers of Metal's getting brought up a lot. I need to check them out. My favorite Rammstein song, I think, is Du riechst so gut from their first album. Yeah, dude, Marilyn Manson was another big one, man. I remember when the music video for Dope Show came out. I think I was like 10 or 11. And I remember just being so creeped out. Edward, I do have a buddy that's the A&R rep at ESP. Yeah. Oh, him is another band I was super into. Am I into like really brutal and crazy metal? I mean, that's all kind of subjective, depending on how people look at it. If we're talking like crazy metal, I'm trying to think of something that's just so ridiculous and brutal and just out there that other people would probably be like, what the hell? In terms of like craziness, I like stuff like the Dillinger Escape Plan. Ooh, Prodigy was good too. Jerry asks, who would you say is your favorite female vocalist since you started doing reactions, and who was it before? Man, it's interesting because, you know, if we're talking like, you know, growls and cleans and stuff, I'd have different answers. I think in terms of growling, or metal bands, in terms of like growling and stuff like that, I think Tatiana from Ginger is probably one of my favorites right now. Her versatility with her vocals is really great. But in terms of just singers overall, it's probably got to be Floor. Dude, her voice is just so well-rounded. But in terms of like specifically growlers for females, I listened to a lot of OTEP when I was younger. I think that was one of the first bands I ever heard a female vocalist that was like growling and screaming that I was really like, holy shit. I remember Kitty back in the day too. Sepultura and Soulfly. Morgan, good shout out because I loved both of those bands. I've only really listened to Sepultura with Max era. Once he left and started Soulfly, I never really listened to him. But man, Soulfly was a big part of my high school. Strapping Young Lad, one of my favorite metal bands ever. Devin Townsend can also do no wrong. I have never worked on a headless guitar, no. I'm familiar with how they work, but I've never worked on one. AFI, that's another band, dude. Man, we're bringing up a lot of fun stuff. Bullet for My Valentine, that was another band. I haven't listened to Bullet for My Valentine in years. I think Four Words to Choke. Is it Four Words to Choke Upon or Choke On? That was like my intro to Bullet for My Valentine. I've heard a little bit of Caliban. Ooh, Guano Apes. Yeah, that's another one. I actually didn't really get into Guano Apes until like I was older. Yeah, dude. I forgot about Kitty until recently, to be honest. All right, coffee's done. Switching to the dew. My dad actually just kind of recently discovered Testament, and he was like, dude, this guy, he's like, this singer is awesome. And I was like, fuck yeah, Chuck Billy rules. I saw Kitty at the rave once too, Pennywise. What show was that? I can't remember who I saw him with. Joe, are you talking about Lacey in Flyleaf? Yeah, I wrestled a bear once. That could also be considered like crazy metal too. I've never listened to I Prevail. Evergrey was a surprise, man. I'm like shocked I never heard of that band before, and now I like it. Never super got into My Chemical Romance. Like, I was very aware of them, and I liked a lot of bands that were in that scene. Like, I loved The Used and stuff like that, but I never got into My Chemical Romance. So, Courtney and Mike that were in I Wrestled a Bear Once started Spirit Box, yes. It's not the same exact band, but it's Courtney and Mike. Lamb Chops, I've not heard any Orden Ogan yet, and I need to. Yeah, Trivium was another band in high school I liked. What was the first Trivium song I heard? I think it was Right Here in My Arms. I haven't listened to Trivium probably in the past 10 years, though. Ministry, another great Chicago industrial metal band. Yeah, Mr. Bungle is crazy. So, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. At this point, we're just getting nostalgic about bands. But for anybody that hasn't been here the whole time, and if you're curious about the discount code thing on the screen, the merchandise that I've collaborated with Violent Gentlemen is finally out. We've got this t-shirt, the black on white. We've got the black print on white. We've got the other one that's a white print on black, and we've also got a hoodie as well. My dogs are going crazy. I put the link to those specific 3 items on Violent Gentleman's website in this description. It's right at the top of the description. And if you use the discount code Roadie20 in the next 24 hours, you get 20% off on that, man. I'm super excited. I love the Violent Gentleman, guys. And thank you for everybody that's already went and got something. I know a lot of you said you have. But I'm going to wrap this live stream up because it's Sunday, and I'm going to jump over on Twitch, and we're going to stream some video games. Maybe Chase and I can win another platinum tournament on Rocket League. No big deal. Shout out Chase Carnison, the best Rocket League teammate ever. I'll probably try and finish off my max seasonal rankings on Fall Guys in a little bit as well. But man, let's wrap this up here. And if you guys want, I'm going to jump over to Twitch probably within the next 20-30 minutes. If you're not familiar with Twitch, it's live streaming for basically video games and anything else. I love hanging out on there. It's a really good time. We're going to be playing some marbles on Twitch today because people like marbles and we haven't done that in a while. Yeah, I got to shout out Frosty, Colty, Athan, Jake. Solid Rocket League partners. But I haven't won a tournament with them. I won a tournament with Chase. So guys, thank you so much for being here on this Sunday, man. I love doing this and just chit-chatting with everybody. I'm excited for the Violent Gentleman stuff. I'm excited to start doing some throwback reactions and maybe bringing you guys some music that I was into that you might not be familiar with. But man, I'm going to jump over to Twitch here in the next like 20-30 minutes. So if you'd like to do that, it's just twitch.tv/TankTheTech. It's just like this. It's a good time, but I'm also playing video games and hanging out. We'll do some marbles and maybe if anybody wasn't able to get a Violent Gentleman shirt, we'll do a marbles giveaway, and I will buy you and send you a Violent Gentleman shirt. So guys, thank you once again. I'm going to jump off tomorrow. We've got a brand new Epica reaction on the YouTube channel. This week, I'm also probably going to be doing some Bandmade, some new Architects, possibly some Nightwish, definitely Sabaton, as always. Thank you again, guys. I appreciate you taking your time out of your day and evening, wherever you're at, to be here. You guys are absolutely the best. Seriously. This community we've built on Discord and YouTube and stuff is just phenomenal. You guys are good ones. So have a great day and evening. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys on Twitch, but if not, I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you all. Have a wonderful day.